Good morning, everyone. 9 a.m., 35 degrees, and thanks for watching Daybreak here on WGRZ Plus. Weather-wise today, it is rainy. Some places might see freezing rain. Luckily, not as foggy as it was last night. That thick fog is impacting things at the airport for sure. Even though it's not too foggy this morning, there was a ripple effect. And all of the delays and cancellations from last night have spilled over into this morning. Daybreak's Natalie Foss has more.
As that fog lifted from yesterday, people are still experiencing travel delays and cancellations here at the Buffalo-Niagara International Airport. Now this morning, the number has fluctuated, but we're seeing about 16 delays right now. There's only 2 cancellations so far, and that's held pretty steady all morning, but lots of travelers have been delayed this morning. The airport is encouraging you to show up a little bit early, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to get through security because people are still trying to recover from yesterday as well, so the airport might be a little bit busier. Now, yesterday the fog caused 65 flights to be delayed and 21 to be canceled. So today is doing much better, but airport officials tell us that because of how dense and low that fog was yesterday, it made it almost impossible for some pilots to land the planes.
Unfortunately, with the fog being as dense as it is, it's limiting and as low to the ground. It's limiting what we call vertical visibility, which aircraft need to have at least 200 feet to land here at Buffalo-Niagara International Airport. And there's been a few times where we've been below that today.
Wheeler said that while they're working their hardest to keep yesterday's event isolated to yesterday, some delays and cancellations have been spilling over to today. Now, the airport recommends that if you are traveling today, make sure that you stay in touch with your airline. You have the app so that you can get the most up-to-date information on your flight. So if it is delayed or canceled, you're able to make other travel plans and hopefully get to where you're going today. On your side at the Buffalo-Niagara International Airport, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
Natalie, thank you. And speaking of the airport, Congressman Nick Langworthy will be holding a press conference there today to announce nearly $1.5 million in federal funding. That money will go towards strengthening winter operations and snow removal. The funding was secured through community project funding in the Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Appropriations Bill. This morning, we're working to learn more about what appears to be a fire at a Motel 6 on Camp Road in Hamburg. Our photographer was there a little after midnight, and you can see firefighters focused in the office area of the motel. We did reach out to police and fire officials. They didn't give us any information, but once we do learn more, we'll pass it along to you. And authorities are still looking for the person or people who vandalized the new Highmark Stadium with graffiti, which is now believed to be an inside job done by someone who was working on the stadium project site. Right now, construction work on the new stadium is suspended while law enforcement investigates. Sources tell 2 on your side the graffiti caused significant damage to already finished portions of the stadium, like locker rooms and suite areas that will now have to be redone. The county executive described the graffiti as pornographic and anti-LGBTQ and says there will be criminal charges.
Someone's going to be held responsible. They will be charged with a crime because they've caused some substantial financial damage. As I said, it's not only pornographic in nature, but we believe there's some anti-LGBTQ plus content there. So this individual will eventually be apprehended. The only way that an individual could have had access is if they were working on the site or they were some sort of other individual who had a pass that allowed them to get on the site. It wasn't exterior, it was interior, and that's why everyone believes it's someone that was actually working on the site.
Neither Poland Cars nor the development company, Gilbane Turner, have indicated how long the suspension of construction might last. However, despite the setback, they say that the stadium will still be finished on time this summer. There's a tragic story that we're following out of the town of Tonawanda. A 19-year-old man is now facing murder charges for allegedly killing his own grandmother with several children inside the home. Prosecutors say 19-year-old Miguel Castro Jr. was arraigned on Monday, just hours after he intentionally stabbed and killed his grandmother, 57-year-old Anna Moore. The DA's office says it happened inside a home on Parkhurst Boulevard with 3 children inside the home at the time. Castro is charged with murder and endangering the welfare of a child. He faces 25 years to life in prison if convicted. He's being held in custody without bail and is scheduled to be back in court tomorrow. And a murder case against a Buffalo police officer, who's also a school resource officer, is moving ahead. The 53-year-old Lance Woods is accused of killing his wife, 35-year-old Alexis Skichellis, inside their Sanborn home. Woods was not physically inside the courtroom yesterday after waiving his right to appear, but we did get a look at him as he left the building dressed in an orange jumpsuit here and handcuffed, getting into this patrol car. A judge also granted his request to waive the preliminary hearing, which means the case will now move forward to a felony hearing. The Cheektowaga Town supervisor is addressing concerns over safety at the Walden Galleria after 2 women stabbed 3 others inside the mall on Friday. Supervisor Brian Nowak stressed that the women accused in the stabbing knew the victims, and this was not a random attack at the mall. Nowak also told 2 on Your Side that the owners of the mall Pyramid Group hire off-duty police officers and have their own security personnel, along with on-duty police officers, New York State troopers, and the Buffalo Peacemakers at the mall, all to help to keep shoppers safe. The women charged in Friday's stabbing, 22-year-old Lakia Richardson and 21-year-old Jocelyn Paul, both from Buffalo, are out on bail and they're due back in court for a felony hearing tomorrow. In Albion, several residents and businesses and clergy are dealing with the aftermath of a roof collapse. This was the scene on East Bank Street near Platt Street yesterday afternoon. Thankfully, everyone made it out safe, but people have been displaced. The Albion mayor says the roof fell through the building's 3rd floor around 6:30 yesterday morning. Full Gospel Tabernacle Church was one of the places damaged. Their pastor says that they tried to salvage what they could.
Everyone is safe. That's the important thing. And so just stay encouraged, keep your head up, and come to the churches. And we'll be able to help you as much as we can. I know you've got the Red Cross, but hey, the real cross, that's the way to go.
And code officers say an engineer will come in to make sure the building is structurally safe to go inside and start making repairs. And Pastor Wynn says there is a sister church that they can partner with in the meantime for services. And Patrick, they didn't say that it was weather related, but obviously thick, heavy snow with all of the water and all of the melting may have played a part in all of this. I mean, we've seen so many icicles on buildings as well, but they're all starting to melt with the warmer weather that we've had lately.
Yeah, I don't think you can put it on that just yet.
Yeah.
There is a snowpack. But it's not that deep.
Right.
But anyway, something I'm sure they're going to look into. It has been rather melty the last couple of days. I know many driveways in my neighborhood are finally clear of snow that's melted. We're getting some rain. It's going to be a cold rain today, mid-30s. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, 28. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy again, but dry for your Thursday. Now, within that general forecast, we got to localize it a little more. Farther to the north, that rain could come down as a little freezing rain during the day today. Rain for Buffalo and then rain for Jamestown is how it appears right now. Okay, so some of that ice will begin to form north of the thruway. We're showing signs of it on radar anyway. I just checked an observation BERT, which is actually in northern Niagara County near the Lake Ontario shore, still reporting rain there, okay, with a temperature of 33. But there's a sign that we could begin to see some freezing rain before too long in areas that are under the winter weather advisory, which includes Erie, northern Erie, far northern Erie County, Genesee, Orleans, parts of Wyoming County and Niagara County. Those are the areas that have the best chance of seeing some ice. You can see here on Future Look, ice is possible, again, north of the county line primarily. This is a little farther to the north than what we were thinking yesterday. That's a good thing. There's nothing good that comes out of freezing rain, right? I mean, a lot of good comes out of rain. A lot of good can come out of snow. Rainbows. Only good things come from rainbows, right? Am I right?
Okay, Patrick.
Freezing rain, though, can't find any positive. So up to the north it goes, except meteorologically, it's kind of cool. Anyway, dry weather tomorrow. You just don't want to drive in it. Thursday looks fine. And then Friday, more rain, particularly in the morning, scattered showers into the afternoon. That will turn to some snow showers, it looks like. Friday night and into the weekend. Rainfall totals 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of rain, and any ice that falls today, again, relegated to those counties that I mentioned, Niagara, Orleans primarily. Okay, for today, rain, areas of freezing rain to the north. Tonight, mostly cloudy, 28. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, 38. Long-range forecast. Snow showers for the weekend after a mild day on Thursday, but still some wet weather. And then getting colder next week. Temperatures near 20. And in the long-range forecast, rain on Friday, scattered snow showers on Sunday. But Melissa, unfortunately, no rainbows in the 7-day.
No, it doesn't look like that. And these low 20s, are these going to stick around?
It will be a colder week next week, and I think it's not going to have the staying power that the last cold snap had. So this is a cool snap, not really a cold snap.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, I know. Well, it is, late February, 20 is pretty, it's cold. We'll call it cold. I don't think it's going to last too long.
Okay. Patrick, thank you. A lot going on there in that forecast. Stay with us. We're going to talk Olympics coming up after the break and a peek inside Matt Milano's house. Stay with us for that. Welcome back. It is a big day for a couple of Buffalo Sabres in the Olympics. Tage Thompson will represent Team USA and take on his Sabres teammate, Rasmus Dahlin, who's representing Team Sweden. Team USA and Team Sweden last faced off in non-Olympic play in the NHL Four Nations face-off last year. Sweden won that 2-1. But I don't really know how the teams overlap, if they're the same teams with those Four Nations games as they are for the Olympics. So I don't know really know if we can compare. But Team USA's last Olympic victory over Sweden was all the way back in the 1960s. Wow. Anyway, today's quarterfinal matchup is set to get underway at 3:10 p.m. And then, there's still the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and then we'll figure out what teams will be going into the gold, silver, and bronze medal games for men's hockey. But women's hockey, the gold medal game is tomorrow. USA versus Canada. Everyone kind of expected those teams to be facing off for the gold medal game. And so Haley Scamiro, we'll be watching her. Haley Wynn from Rochester. They're both on Team USA. That is at, I believe, 1 o'clock tomorrow, 1:10 p.m. tomorrow. But today is the Rasmus Dahlin, Tage Thompson game in the quarterfinals, and that's at 3:10 p.m.
Can you imagine if they got in a fight? Like a hockey brawl?
Tage is so tall, though.
I know, but gloves off.
Yeah,
it's like,
or just
dude,
scooping around.
He's your party. Wrong guy.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Speaking of Sabres, though, while they're off in Milan, their teammates will be playing back here stateside, right here in Buffalo. The Sabres will be practicing today 5 times, actually, over the next week as they ramp up coming out of the Olympic break. So their first practice is today at Harbor Center. And we're hoping to get some injury updates on players like Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Josh Norris and Zach Benson. They had plenty of time to rest up. Their first game back from the Olympic break is exactly 1 week from today. They will be in New Jersey to play the Devils.
So when they get back, do you think their teammates are like, oh, look at the Olympians coming in here, oh.
I don't know.
Or are they
Tage
like,
is flashing a gold medal. I mean,
I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of pride. And,
yeah.
It's like, oh, Mr. Olympian's back. Oh, okay.
Right.
I guess we can start playing again.
Oh, it's so fun, though, to have meaningful February hockey in Buffalo.
And all I'm thinking about is like, okay, how are they going to come out? Having 2.5 weeks off, are they going to be kind of, you got to...
But all of the teams are this way.
Oh,
They've all had a break.
I know, but
so
get that momentum back.
Yeah, I'm glad they're practicing 5 times this week. That'll be great. We were talking about how, Olympic hockey, these guys haven't played together at all. Like
so bizarre.
They're throwing all these guys together who are clearly amazing hockey players.
Well, they get on the ice and they're like introducing each other. Hey, I'm Steve. Hey,
hey, number 19.
Yeah, right. Pass it. I like this side better than that side. Yeah. It's got to be hard to play with guys you never.
I'm just excited to see the Sabres play again and have meaningful hockey and hopefully end this drought.
I was listening to our own Paul Hamilton, who was saying for the Sabres they're in a playoff position now.
First wild card spot. Yep.
Yeah. To get into the playoffs, they need to play 500 hockey. If they can play 500 hockey, and I got to believe, that I think is very doable.
It seems doable.
Very doable. You would hope so. But if they play, at least 500, they'll get into the playoffs.
Wow.
That's from Paul Hamilton. I didn't.
That kind of gave me chills. Like it's possible.
Yeah.
And I just think about kids who love the Sabres, like Elliot, for example, who's about to be 12. He's never witnessed a Buffalo Sabres playoff game in his entire life, which is kind of like how I was growing up with the Bills, with the long playoff drought. And so it will be so fun to see playoff hockey here in town and just everyone getting behind the Sabres for once. The city needs it, the city deserves it, and it'll help to also kind of wash away the pain from the end of the Bills season, just to have a team to cheer for. And then there's the Bandits. They play on Friday. We're hoping that they can make a run at the playoffs again. They're kind of sitting in the last playoff spot. And so, they have a three-peat of championships in the NLL, so we're hoping that they can make it into the playoffs and to kind of turn things around for the second half of the season. Okay, coming up, real estate, Matt Milano. Amazing pictures in Architectural Digest. We'll show you coming up. Welcome back. Earlier this month, there was an article in Architectural Digest, which is really hard to get into, by the way, featuring Bills linebacker Matt Milano's mid-century modern home in East Aurora. And just yesterday, Milano actually shared on his Instagram more photos that were taken for that article. You can see some of the pictures here. Look at that entranceway. I love that so much.
Yeah.
The designer who brought this vision to life is also from Western New York. Her name is Karen Dejanovic, and she was in charge of house hunting and design and styling. She does a lot for a lot of the Bills players, and she's friends with their wives. That chair there, okay, this is why I love the article. Stay on this. This chair. In the Architectural Digest article, they price out a lot of these items. That chair is $4,500, and he's got two of them. And there's a lamp that's like $1,400. The prices just like blow my mind for some of this stuff. I have to show you one other. Sorry.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would think that I don't know.
Oh, that coffee table. How much do you think that is?
I haven't a clue.
$3,200.
Of course. But does he really sit in that chair and enjoy it? I expect him to have some beat-up leather chair with a Bud Light sign behind him, watching a football game. That just seems a little too fancy.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's
really
got great taste.
cool.
He's got great taste.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to talk about. So he said that all of the houses in Western New York are cookie cutter, and he wanted something different. So it was a little bit of a. So he toured this home and walked in and immediately knew it was what he wanted. And look at that bathroom. I love that. And so I asked Patrick earlier this morning on Daybreak, I said, Patrick, what movie house does this look like?
And I have to give.
You knew it right away.
Okay, viewers at home, when you see this house, maybe we can cycle through a few more pictures, especially the exterior, that too. What
Right.
living, that one too.
This one.
What movie does that remind you from? And
you knew it.
I got
and I knew it like right away too. It was Patrick.
From the Cameron scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yep.
Cameron's garage at home, where he would park his parents' cars. It had that. Maybe that isn't the best. There was other shots that just resembled it.
Right.
And that's the pit.
That's the pit. Right. Of the Ferrari going through the big glass window and into the woods.
Yes.
Like this house is.
I don't know what
woods.
it was. And you. Okay. I got it in like half a second.
Yes, and I was so surprised you got it. But yeah, it looks exactly like. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Matt Milano specifically said in the article, and I'm going to pull this up. He said that. One of my favorite movies growing up was Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I loved his friend Cameron's house, referencing the glass and steel house devised by an architect who trained on it, blah, blah, blah. So he was fascinated with that style, and he wanted a home that looked just like that.
Speaking of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, one of the characters, what character did Cameron play recently in a very highly successful
he was
show?
in Succession.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
But that house, it's in. It didn't say where it was. It only said Western New York. So I looked it up. It's East Aurora. He bought it in 2024 for $1.47 million. It's gorgeous, though. So it's just kind of fun peeling back the layers because we were also saying in the commercial break, we don't know anything about Matt Milano. He's been on this team for so long, but he's so quiet.
Very private. Yeah. And we hope we don't see a for sale sign on that soon because we want him to stay. I think he's going to be a free agent. I think. So hopefully the Bills are able to find a way to re-sign him.
Yeah.
Having said that, Milano's an amazing player. He's had a hard time staying on the field.
Right,
Hopefully,
staying healthy.
You're right. So hopefully they find a way to keep him back.
But also my final thing about this house, 3,700 square feet, meticulously maintained, absolutely beautiful, $1.47 million. Can you imagine how much that house would cost in California? Real estate here, there's more and more houses over $1 million being sold here all across Western New York, mostly in East Aurora, Clarence, and some in Buffalo.
If you took that house and it looked like, if you're familiar with the area, Marin County, which is just north of San Francisco, that house looks like a Marin. That would be a $9 to $10 million house.
Yeah.
So that means you can have a house that beautiful, and I'm sorry, that was a beautiful setting that you saw there for obviously a lot less.
Yeah.
But very cool.
All right. Well, that was a lot of house for one person. Now we have 9 people who just need a car. We're talking about the West Seneca quintuplets family, the Lotbrines, and they are so lucky that we live in the city of good neighbors because businesses and individuals are stepping up to help. They've had 5 newborns 2 months ago on December 18th. Oh, they're exactly 2 months old today. And 1 came home on the 10th. 4 are still in the hospital. They've got 2 other girls at home, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So that's 7 car seats, 9 people in a car. And yesterday, Westhurst stepped up to help them out. Scott Bueller right there posing with the family. And they donated a Chevy Suburban and all of these diapers here and some wagons. Finally, a vehicle, though, big enough for the family of 9 to travel together.
One of the main questions we got asked during the entire pregnancy is, how are you going to cart them around? And we knew that we were going to be a little stranded for a little bit, but with you stepping in and giving us the Suburban, it eased a huge burden off of us, and we're just so appreciative.
And again, you saw them with the baby. Holly's home. The 4 others are in the NICU gaining strength. And if you want to know more about this family, I sat down with them over the weekend. They were so gracious, in their crazy lives, busy lives, to take time to sit down with me and share everything that's happening with them. And so you can see that story on WGRZ.com. But we talk about everything from what is their sleep going to look like. They don't want to ask for help. Clearly, they're not saying, can you please give me this or please give me that? But Western New Yorkers are stepping up to help. And I've had a couple people email me saying, please let them know that I would volunteer to come in and babysit or take care of the kids. And they're having strangers drop off casseroles and dinner for them. And they just are so grateful for all of that. There is a GoFundMe page for the family. And I have that posted and linked in our web story on WGRZ.com. But do you know how many diapers 5 kids over 1 year, how many that would be?
I had 2 kids in diapers at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm only talking about the 5 of them because the 2-year-old's still in diapers.
Oh no, like 600?
600.
Yeah.
Patrick, it's 5 kids.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't.
7 diapers a day.
So, that's 30. 35 times
365 days.
Oh my God, I'm not even close. Okay.
Well over 11,000 diapers in 1 year.
Okay.
So there was a law.
Wait, how many one diaper per day?
1 diaper a day.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't.
7 diapers a day.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Oh, I thought it was, okay. Yeah, 7 diapers.
For 5 kids.
Got it.
So that's 35 diaper changes.
Got it. Okay. I didn't do the math right. Okay.
You're good at numbers.
No. If I didn't have the pressure of TV lights, I would have put that together. Coming up with 700 was a terrible number.
That's okay. You're forgiven. So 11,000, more than 11,000.
That's crazy.
11,000 it would have been if they were doing 6 diapers a day, but they said that they want to change as many as possible because they don't want to have diaper rashes, obviously. So anyway, 11,000 diapers, well over in a year. A local law firm donated 6 months worth of diapers to them, which would be amazing. But then just thinking, where are you going to put all the boxes and boxes and boxes of diapers? And the strollers to take them out for a walk. They were thinking maybe 2 triple strollers, but now Dad said he's going to build his own stroller with a big, huge Radio Flyer wagon, and they're just going to, their mantra was, we'll figure it out.
Right.
And that's the mentality that they have to have. And they're talking to other parents of multiples to try to get advice, but not necessarily twins, because there's a heck of a big difference between having 2 and having 5.
Right.
And I was asking about the feeding schedule, and they said that they're doing formula so that dad can help with the bottles, but they'll do 2 being fed, and then a half hour later they'll do another 2, and then a half hour later they'll do 1 with the formula, and they'll make the formula in like a pitcher rather than a bottle at a time, and it's just going to be feeding, burping, changing diapers, sleep over and over and over again. It's insane, and I am just wishing them the best of luck and then sending them good vibes.
I also hope other families that have a lot of kids that are in need also get the help too that they need. I mean, this is an amazing thing, and hopefully, others get to receive the benefit of good neighbors too that are in need.
Yeah, I mean, well, you see it in story after story that when something traumatic happens in the family, Western New York steps up to help.
This is where you want to live in a situation like that because your neighbors are going to come together.
And the parents were wonderful. They said, we didn't do this to get handouts, and they're not asking for help. They are certainly not the type of family that wants to ask for help. But if others are offering to help, they are slowly warming up to the fact that they need to say yes, and that we'll take the help if we can get it. As far as people coming over to hold babies, rock babies, change diapers, that type of thing.
Right.
It's going to be a long road, and they also were really clear that we don't want to glamorize this at all. And Mom actually said in the interview, she's like, I don't wish this on anyone. She didn't feel comfortable reducing the pregnancy, but she also just said, I wouldn't choose to do this. This was not IVF where she, had 5 embryos implanted. So anyway, go on the website, see more from the family, and we wish them the best. Thanks for tuning into Daybreak, everybody, and have a wonderful day.